What is good, everybody? Man, it's your boy Jay in the building. We're back again with another video, man. Now, before we get this video started, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Jackson State versus Florida A&M. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Prior to last week happening, I was gonna come in here and talk about how Jackson State was gonna do FAMU like how Alabama State did them, like how North Carolina Central did them, and I was going to figure out how FAMU is going to keep up with the offensive juggernaut that Jackson State is and how they're going to keep up. And what a difference a week make, because not only did Jackson State lose a heartbreaker, but they also lose their starting quarterback for a few weeks. God knows how long. Listen, when you come out in a walking boot, you're going to be missing for a few weeks. And seeing as though this injury happened in the middle of the season with like 4 games left, he could be gone until December. Who knows? But this one, not only did this loss kind of give Jackson State no room for error, because they're still in first place. But not only did this team not, give this little room for error, but now you give everybody else in your division confidence. With Alabama State still in their one loss, with a FAMU team who is on a 2-game winning streak, whose offense is rolling, and a Bethune-Cookman team who kind of has an easy schedule leading up when they face y'all in a few weeks. And, I'm going to speak from both angles here, from both FAMU and Jackson State side of things. Now, you got a Jackson State team who just lost, coming off of an emotional loss. And not only that, losing their starting quarterback. Now, I will say this. Jared Lockhart, in that fourth quarter, being down double digits, for him to bring them back to even take the lead, that was big. And he definitely played well in that fourth quarter. And he definitely has some talent. And now you have to ask him to do it for a full 60 minutes on the road where a team is game planning for him. They're going to look at what he did against Tuskegee. They're going to look at what he did in the fourth quarter, and they're going to look at what he likes to do. And mind you, I don't think that's enough of a sample size to really find out what a person can do, because now Lockhart is going to have to know that this ain't Tuskegee that he's going up against. Now, this is a team, you're asking them to go into what could be a hostile environment. This is prime time hours. This is a 7 o'clock game. So a home team playing a night game gives a team sort of boost. Like, I don't know if anybody played a Friday night, like high school Friday night or college night game, but that gives a home team confidence just because they're playing at home. And that could generate a bigger crowd because those are prime time hours, So you're asking them to go, in a hostile environment potentially against a team who was booed for, before their homecoming game just a few weeks ago, And so the one thing that, that Lockhart does have going for him is that he's going to be going up against a defense that don't really take the ball away like that, and they don't generate a lot of pressure on the quarterback. They have the least amount of they're one of the least amount of sacks, or the team with the least amount of sacks, and with the least amount of takeaways. And if Lockhart can, is able to steer this shit with a bunch of veteran receivers. And that's the thing too. The juniors and seniors on his team has to ensure in him that they got his back. With the listen, and the defense got to know, listen, this is not Morgan on the other side of y'all. Now, normally with good defenses, they have, little room to make mistakes because they have a quarterback who can generate 20 and 30 points in Morgan. And now you have to ask this team to, hey, we can't afford to make any mistakes. We have a freshman quarterback leading this team, so it got to be on us to not only generate turnovers, but to score off the turnovers. And when that ball's in the air, we have to catch it. That's how the defense has to think. Now you have to ask Jackson State defensively to generate 1 to 2 turnovers. Because, listen, here's the thing. With freshman and sophomore quarterback, we know, or with quarterbacks who's making their first few starts of their career, they're going to make mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen. And the one thing that's important that Jackson State defensively has to know is that they can't put their head down. No matter how many mistakes the offense makes, they have to always go out there with confidence to know that, listen, it's going to be our turn to generate a turnover eventually on this drive. So if there has to be plenty of people to give Lockhart confidence. That's his group of receivers. That's his head coach. That's Morgan that's going to be on the sideline. And the defense. They have to reassure him that they have his back 100% for this full 60 minutes. And it's not about how many turnovers you give up. It's when the turnovers happen. And the defense, listen, and Lockhart, if you're going to make a mistake, make it in the first quarter. Make it in the second quarter. Get it out your system. Make sure that you're able to play clean, especially in the second half, because it's not how many turnovers that you give up. It's when the turnovers happen. So just make sure that Lockhart don't make mistakes and play a clean game, or at least play a clean game in the second half, and you'll be good, man. And rely in the running game. The running game should be heavy for Jackson State in this game, especially against a FAMU team who doesn't do very well at stopping the run. So, Lamar Miller, Davenport, who had a real good game last week, and Travis Terrell should be there should be a heavy dose of run to give Lockhart, some breathing room. So hopefully the running game could help him out. Now let me speak on the FAMU side of things. Of course, FAMU is coming off of their win last week, scoring 40 on Southern. All granted being Southern, but you have a quarterback in RJ who's been playing well these last 2 weeks. Now, the one thing, the thing that FAMU does very well is that they give the ball to everybody. There's at least one different person that has a big game. Jamal Haley had himself a big day last week, and he's normally their receiving running back. And he had 19 carries when at the very least, he probably had about 4 carries a game. He had 19. They still have Somerset. They still had Thad Franklin in the backfield. They have a bunch of receivers and Goldie Lawrence and Miles Campbell. Like, they have a load of talent. And, this FAMU team, they spread the ball around. So that could really put the defense on their heels when they don't know who to guard for real, because they give the ball to everybody. And I think that's how FAMU has been for the last few years now is that they don't really have a number one receiver. They just spread the ball around and they give it to everybody. And the one thing that, RJ can do is that he can run the ball too. He can definitely run the ball. He may not run the ball as well as some of the other quarterbacks in the SWAC, but he can run the ball when given an opportunity. Thrown over 600 yards with 4 total touchdowns and 0 interceptions, 0 turnovers. So the offense has been putting up points. And the problem with that is, now you're going up against a defense who's number one in damn near everything. And they generate a lot of pass rush. And, you have a defense who, granted, you've been scoring points. Your defense has also been giving up a lot of points. They don't generate turnovers. And even on their 2-game win streak, they haven't generated no turnovers, and they only had probably 1, maybe 2 sacks in the last 2 weeks. While FAMU has been scoring, I think they scored 70 points or 80 points in the last 2 weeks. But I believe that FAMU has gained confidence, not only with their win, but now they're going up against a true freshman quarterback who we don't know how truly good he is. Granted, he got talent, but he's going to be playing on the road this weekend. And the thing that FAMU should remember is that they should continue. Granted, y'all were just booed a few weeks ago. Damn near every team with a winning record that you went up against, you lost to. And not only lost to, you lost big. Alabama State came to your house and put up 40. North Carolina Central came into your house and put up 40. Damn near shut you out. Albany State, you had to come back against Albany State for you to make, for you to even come out with the win. So, with this game right here, FAMU should be having a sense of pride about themselves this week. You're going up against a quarterback, a true freshman quarterback who's wet behind the ears. And granted, they have talent across the board. But at the end of the day, that's a freshman quarterback over there. And I will hope that this FAMU defense is going to be gearing up and making sure that they can do something. Because, mind you, this ain't the defense from 2023. With guys like Isaiah Major and Jonathan Chaney and Anthony Dunn, Gento Hunt, Dre Jones, Kendall Boulder, Eric Smith. They don't have them guys over there. FAMU don't have them guys over there. So, and what a difference a few years make when FAMU defense won them the championship. This ain't that defense anymore. So, and FAMU, they are who they are defensively. But you have to have at least one game this year. If you ain't going to play defensively like how you supposed to play, then at least generate one turnover. If you're going to leave it to your offense to score 30 points, then at least get one turnover. At least get 2 or 3 stops while the offense is still trying to figure things out. And hopefully RJ is going to be able to go toe-to-toe with Lockhart. Because, mind you, Jackson State still got the weapons. They still got the receivers and the running backs over there. It's just the only difference is a quarterback. And that quarterback is a major piece. And I know that Jackson State is going to have confidence. They have confidence in Lockhart. They seen him play, and they're going to put all the confidence in him. So I can't wait to see what happens. Listen, who do I have winning this game? because there's a lot of drama. And I think there's a whole lot of pressure on Jackson State to win this game because they could potentially go from first to fourth with this loss. And I think it's going to be plenty interesting. Who do I have winning this game? I'll be honest with you. I'll be totally honest with you. I think I have FAMU winning this game. I think so. I think FAMU, listen, this is a night game. You at home. You on a 2-game winning streak. You should have some sense of pride coming into this game. You're going up against a true freshman quarterback, and hopefully that can give you some type of boost in confidence, and, hopefully y'all do come out with this game. But listen, I got FAMU in the upset. But I don't listen. I have I have confidence that Lockhart will make some plays. I have confidence that the run game is going to help him out a little bit, but I think in the end, I think FAMU is going to come with the upset. But listen, I don't mind being wrong. Like, I know that when I make predictions, I've been wrong sometimes, and people come out, hey, you said this, and I'm like, listen, I don't care. Listen, I'm not right in every prediction. I've been right in most predictions though. But listen, I have FAMU winning this game in the upset. But we'll see what happens, man. But this thing's gonna be, listen, I think this is gonna be a good one. Who's gonna be a good one? And listen, FAMU should pack the house up. I don't know what y'all, listen, I think FAMU should pack the house up. Give them something to cheer about. But listen, I think it's going to be a good one, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for it.